Have you ever wondered, is using ChatGPT too much actually making us dumber? Well, maybe not those exact same words, but lately in our Team Slack channels, I have been discussing this with my teammates, a real version of that question. If we keep offloading thinking and coding to AI, is it quietly rewiring our own brains and making us less viable coders? Well, a recent MIT study might have just confirmed our suspicion. It turns out it might actually reduce your brain activity. And worse, it builds something the researchers called cognitive debt, a kind of mental shortcutting that adds up over time. So what did they test? They brought in 54 participants and had them write short essays under 3 different conditions. One group had to write using just their brain and with no help from AI at all. Another group could use Google to search for facts, but they still had to do the writing themselves. And the third group got to use ChatGPT to brainstorm, outline, and even write the full articles. While everyone was writing, the researchers used EEG to track real-time brain activities. And after that, they ran the essays through some text analysis tools that look at name entities, engrams, and topic patterns to see how people's writing styles have changed depends on the tool that they use. And here's what I found, and it's kind of wild. First, each group start writing in distinct similar ways. The brain-only group, the Google group, and the ChatGPT group all produce essays that look like they were shaped by the tool they use. Which makes sense. Tools guide how we think, even if we don't think about it, right? But here came the bombshell. The more help people get, the more brain activity dropped. The brain-only group showed the most engaged, most widespread brain activity, and the Google group was somewhere in the middle. And the ChatGPT group, their brains were the quietest. Across alpha, beta, theta, and delta waves, ChatGPT users were just not working as hard. And it didn't stop there. When the researchers asked participants to recall their own essays just minutes after writing them, ChatGPT users could barely remember anything that they wrote. They often couldn't quote a single line. Meanwhile, the brain-only writers remembered more, quoted more, and felt like they owned what they wrote. It was theirs, and their brains had to work for it. But then it gets even more interesting. In session 4, 4 weeks later, the researchers brought some participants back and flipped the setup. So people who have been using ChatGPT only were now told, hey, write without it, just using your brain this time. And their brain activity? Still low. They had trouble re-engaging. It's like their brains has gotten used to outsourcing and now didn't want to do the heavy lifting anymore. But the opposite switch had a totally different effect. The folks who had written brain only earlier were now allowed to use ChatGPT. Their brains stayed active and their recall stayed strong. So if you train your brain first and then bring in ChatGPT, it seems you can keep your mental edge. So what happened in the long term? By the end of the 4-month study, the ChatGPT group had clearly fallen behind. They had lower brain engagement, weaker writing, and got lower scores from human graders. Their early boosts from using AI turned into long-term drop in learning, and that's what the researchers call the cognitive debt. Like financial debt, it sneaks up on you. Every time you rely on AI to think for you, they save efforts now, but you lose something over time. Your memory, your depth of thinking, your sense of ownership, bit by bit, it adds up. I love ChatGPT. I use it every single day. I also use Claude, use Gemini to code every single day. It's great to get unstuck, for drafting, for polishing, for setting up the project, to help you debug, to help you write unit tests. But this study is a big reminder. If you let AI do all the work, your brain learns to check out. So next time you reach for ChatGPT, try doing some of the thinking first. Write the rough outline, challenge yourself to recall facts, try phrasing things your own way, do more context engineering, use the AI as a collaborator, as a co-pilot, but not a crutch. Because if the study is right, the real cost of always using AI might not be time, it might be the strength of your own critical thinking. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.